Welcome to the Lanikai Mortgage Players Fall 2013 melodrama production. Tonight, we will be presenting for your entertainment enjoyment a play entitled Murder on Tombstone Island. Or, Who'll Stop the Strangler? Now, before we get started, I have two announcements to make. One of them, very important, you notice there are 3 tripods there with cameras mounted on them. Please give them a wide berth. If they fall over and whack you, it hurts a lot. So stay clear of them. Also, we've been doing these melodramas since the mid-'60s with a slight break. I haven't been doing it that long, almost. And this announcement I'm about to make is the first time we've ever had to do this. If you have any electronic device that makes a sound, watches, pagers, smartphones, stupid phones, tablets, you name it, either shut the puppy off or put it on vibrate, those who want a thrill. All right? Please.
How about pacemakers?
Yeah, shut it off. All right? Vibrate. Yes, yeah. All right. I say that because last night somebody was really interested in the severe weather warnings that were being broadcast by the National Weather Service, which they did at a regular interval throughout our play. Anyway, all right, let's get started here. Now, for those 2 or 3 people in the back or maybe even in the middle who have never been to a melodrama, there are a few things you need to know. One of them, we expect a certain amount of audience participation, all right? And you asked me, how are we going to do that? Well, thank you for asking, and I will tell you. There are three main character types in any melodrama you see anywhere. One of them is the hero. He is strong, he is courageous, he is a defender of the weak and the innocent. When you see him on stage, show him that you appreciate his effort. Give him a hearty cheer. All right, thank you. Now, another type is the heroine. She is lovely. She is innocent. She is pure. Exactly. However, those attributes are the very attributes that attract the unwholesome and unwanted attention of a certain type of person who we'll get to in a moment. That makes her life very difficult. And in this play, it is particularly difficult because she faces a fate worse than death. Very close. So when you see her on stage, show her some sympathy. Show her that you care. Give her the sigh of compassion. You guys have it already. Okay. Now that brings us to our third character type, and you know who I'm talking about, the villain. Now, usually in a melodrama, the villain is wearing a black hat and a black mustache. Very easy to identify. Not so in this melodrama. We know that the villain will be the strangler, right? Part of his job description, okay? But we do not know who the strangler is, all right? Who he or she might be. So whenever you figured out who the villain is, you're going to do what? You're going to boo him, right? Those who don't have any boos in them, try hissing on them. All right? Great. We're almost there. Now, our director, who deserves a little shout out here. Normally he's here, but he has worked so hard. Hours of the day, days of the week, weeks on end to whip this cast into shape. It exhausted him so much that he's home in bed trying to recover. So let's hear Jack Morris, our director. And last, well, we're going to start to play someday, I know. And last but not least, our orchestra, Carol Morris. Really, let's hear it for her. She will set the tone for this mysterious place. So now let's go to Tombstone Island and see if we can figure out who will stop the Strangler when they figure out who the Strangler will be. Let's have the curtain up.
It is truly a frightful night. A winter storm has blasted in from the ocean, and the bridge to Tombstone Island threatens to wash out. I should hope our guests arrive before that occurs. Casper Cratchfield, my repugnant American master, has tricked his 3 ex-wives into attending his wedding here at Tombstone Castle tomorrow. The lights again! That's American ingenuity for you. First they gave us the tea bag, and now electricity. And the telephone. There would be none of this nonsense if the Queen, God bless her, ruled these colonies. Tombstone Castle, Kippers the butler speaking. Good evening, officer. You don't say. The Crimson Kerchief Strangler has claimed his 13th victim right here in this county. He might go into hiding on Tombstone Island. We shall be very watchful. Good night, officer.
Now hush up that crying, little darling. Who all was that, Kippers?
That was the police station on the mainland, sir. They warn of a demented killer in the vicinity known as the Crimson Kerchief Strangler.
I read about him in the New York Times. He throttled a dozen folks in cold blood, twisted a red bandana around their necks till they went blue in the face.
Must you be so colorful, Mr. Cratchfield?
Well, heck, I ain't squeamish. Otherwise, I never would have built this here Tombstone Castle. Did I ever tell you that story, honey?
Possibly. I haven't always been paying attention.
Well, you'd remember this yarn. This here castle was built by an English robber baron by the name of Sir Bradford Beastly on some land he grabbed. Well, there was this big old cemetery on the property. And Sir Beastly had all them tombstones busted up and used for the castle building blocks. Well, the Beastly family went broke, and I bought the place for peanuts. Yep. Had her all tore down, shipped to America, and rebuilt right here on this island. Complete with all the furnishings.
Including the butler. My family had been in service to the Beastleys since the Battle of Agincourt.
What a fascinating story, Mr. Cratchfield.
Heck, little lady, you can call me Casper. After all, you and me is gonna be married this morning.
I would sooner fall victim to the Strangler.
Now, that's no way to talk to your future hubby. You were sure enough eager when I popped the question.
Pop the question? That was no question. You said, marry me, or I will foreclose on the mortgage, throw out your sickly mother, debt-ridden father, and blind grandmother out into the streets.
Well, I do have remarkable powers of persuasion, don't I? And now you and me is getting hitched, and my 3 ex-wives is going to be here to witness the wedding. Did I ever tell you how I hornswoggled them into coming, Kippers?
I have a feeling you are about to impart this gem of duplicity, sir.
Well, I just told them I had only 6 months to live, and I was going to give $1 million to the most deserving ex-wife, and I invited them all here today.
The scheming charlatan. He seeks only to mock them with his beautiful new bride.
Now, where is that blame Pinkerton guard I hired? What's his name?
Hercules Hanson.
Yeah, that's the feller. He's supposed to be here guarding my honey and my money and myself.
He heard a suspicious sound and went out to investigate.
Oh, yeah. I ordered him to set a trap out by the garbage cans for them miserable cats.
He could not find the trap, sir.
Well, he should have asked me. I put it in the same place. I put it over here in yonder basket.
His quarry, sir, was more than stray cats. He suspected a human intruder who could be the Crimson Kerchief Strangler.
Well, no strangler ain't gonna come on this island in this weather. Now, Kippers, do something about these lights.
The wires are being blown to and fro by the storm, sir.
Well, it's making me nervous. I know. I'll just have some of my famous tonic.
Of course. May the custodians of the King's English forgive me. Cratchfield's cure for crippled critters.
Spelt with all K's.
It's not in its usual place, sir.
Well, look over by the potted plant. I put her there for safekeeping. A fella can't be too careful with his stuff nowadays. Yep. Good for man or beast, rubbed on or swallowed. And the reason I'm so daggone rich. Yes, sir, Bob, this here stuff has brung me a long ways from Possum Pocket, Kentucky. Have some, little darling?
I would sooner quaff hemlock.
That ain't the strangler, is it?
Far worse, sir. Your 3 ex-wives. Madam Drusilla, Rowena, and Trilby.
Thanks, Frenchie.
The name, madam, is Kippers. And for your further edification, my people soundly trounced the Frenchies at the Battle of Agincourt half a millennium ago.
Don't take it so hard. Frenchie's what I call all foreigners who can't talk good English. Well, if it ain't Casper, the pride and joy of Possum Pocket.
Yeah. Howdy, gals. Look at y'all. How'd you get so mussed up?
Well, the coach driver was afraid of the storm and had to put us off shy of the bridge. We had to run for it against the wind.
We just reached the island before the bridge was swept away. Now, we're stranded in this Halloween fun house till gosh knows when.
Oh, Tombstone Castle doesn't frighten me. I was hardened by playing a significant role in a Broadway mystery play.
Indeed. What role was that?
I was the approaching footsteps. I got rave reviews.
Well, when I was the wife here, I saw a ghost right by that there suit of armor. I'm known for having second sight, you know.
So is my Aunt Tilly. Coming up here on the train, you shuffled your cards and predicted it wasn't going to rain.
Not as good with the cards as I am with my crystal ball, which Casper hid away from me when it revealed his carryings on.
You don't need no crystal ball to see that.
Well, I also foretold the Great Chicago Fire.
I'll bet you said it just so one of your predictions would finally be right.
I did not. I saw your breakup with Casper.
Well, you couldn't miss on that. You caused it.
Girls. Don't be fighting over me like that. Now looky here.
you, Trilby.
Whom are you implying is a floozy, Drusilla?
Whom? You. That's who.
Don't you get smart with me. I have the power to call down a curse.
Witch.
Ladies, consider yourself fortunate. I am so jealous of you all. I'd give anything to be an ex-Mrs. Casper Gratchfield.
According to Casper, in just 6 months, you will be.
May he rest in peace. The thing we've always longed for is about to happen.
Long ago, I read it in his palm.
In just 6 months, Casper will be another broken headstone for the castle wall. We'll be glad when you're dead, you rascal, you. We'll be glad when you're dead, you rascal, you. When you're dead and left this life, you can't hurt another wife. We'll be glad when you're dead, you rascal, you. We'll be glad when you're dead, you rascal, you. Glad when you're dead, you rascal, you.
When you're 6 feet underground, we'll be dancing all around.
We'll be glad when you're dead, you rascal, you. We'll be glad when you're dead, you rascal, you. We'll be glad when you're dead, you rascal, you.
When you're dead and in your grave, no more can you misbehave.
We'll be glad when you're dead, you rascal, you.
Just a minute, people. I can take a joke, but this here's gone on just a little too far. I really ain't dying. In fact, I don't even feel bad. I just made all that stuff up so y'all come and watch me marry purity here.
You mean you ain't gonna kick the bucket?
I'm getting a message from beyond. There is no $1 million for your most deserving ex-wife.
Well, of course there ain't. Y'all so special. How can I choose between you?
You know a Count Turkey Buzzard. I could kill you with my bare hands.
You're second in line. I'm gonna make the Crimson Kerchief Strangler look like a Sunday school teacher.
Oh, the strangler! Oh, I've worked with the police. I can sense that it's he.
Or she. And Trilby, watch your gender.
What's your own, Drusilla?
Get the door.
Of course, sir. Come along, madam.
What's going on here?
I found this suspicious person prowling around the lower gardens, observing the castle.
What leads you to conclude that I was observing the castle?
Elementary, my dear madam. You were carrying these.
Young man, I have those because I am a bird watcher. I came to witness the seagulls taking refuge from the storm. I am still on the island because the bridge has washed out.
Oh, and why should we believe that?
Because you are an avid reader of detective stories and should be able to deduce as much.
How did you know that I like mysteries?
Well, first, your use of the detective story cliché elementary. And then there are the raised eyebrows and the pursed lips and the quizzical frown that mark those who read too many potboilers. You are also working on your own first novel.
How did you deduce that fact?
Your pencil is chewed nearly to pieces from puzzling over the plot. I can tell it's your first novel because the eraser is intact, indicating that you have yet to learn how to cut one precious word.
That's amazing. Why, only one other person, other than the great Sherlock Holmes himself, could have possibly made such skillful deductions. You must be the celebrated detective storybook writer, Agatha Marple!
Very good, young man.
Miss Marple, I've always been a great fan. I was wondering, do you think I could ask a very great favor of you?
Certainly. I will look over your manuscript.
Uncanny! You read his mind. I wish I could.
But my thoughts are yours for the asking, Miss Purity.
Now, back off, you young whippersnapper. Now, allow me to introduce myself. I'm Casper Cratchfield, a rich American billionaire and owner of this here Tombstone Castle.
I never would have suspected. How do you do?
Miss Marple, I am so pleased to meet you. I was once in one of your plays. Love laughs at multiple murder.
You were the corpse in the closet. A very fine performance.
Yeah, she's real good at just laying there.
Miss Marple, I was wondering if I might.
Certainly, dear. I will let you read my poem immediately after I read this young man's manuscript. Well, let's hope my lifeline is longer than the Strangler's.
Why do you say that? He can't possibly reach the island in this weather.
Unless he's already here. I found this on the lower road.
You see? Perhaps he is spying on us at this very moment.
Just waiting for a chance to murder us all.
I mean, it robbed me blind.
I shall dispose of this immediately.
Oh, excuse me, but I think you should say that as evidence for the police.
The lady is correct. I'll just put this in that there safe over there. Now y'all turn around while I open it up. Turn around. There. The safe is open, and the kerchief is gone.
I don't see no money in there neither.
Well, I'm too cagey to put money in a safe. I put it where no crook would ever look.
Land of Goshen, Casper, you should have been born a squirrel.
I should have put the kerchief in there, too. Now, one of you here pinched it. Which one of you?
Well, I'm getting another message from beyond. It was Drusilla.
Don't you pull no prophecies on me. You're pretty good at stealing from under other people's noses yourself.
Name one thing.
Casper.
Ladies, please. Why, it could have been someone else, lurking outside in the shadows, in the darkness, waiting to strike yet again. Oh, is that a good deduction, Miss Marple?
I fear so.
Now, quit playing the sleuth. Pinkerton, I pay you good money to protect me.
And so I shall, sir. Why, we Pinkertons are highly trained detectives. So let us examine each clue carefully.
it's you, Trilby.
Well, don't look at me. I don't have my crystal ball.
I'll bet Frenchie did it. It's always the butler.
Butlers don't steal, madam. They murder.
If I may offer a suggestion.
Oh, please do, Miss Marple.
We are now reasonably certain that the Crimson Kerchief Strangler is on the island. Perhaps in this very drawing room. Until the police can get here, I think we would all be safer, each in a different bedroom upstairs, with the doors securely bolted.
As a trained Pinkerton detective, I was about to suggest that.
Mr. Cratchfield, I fear I must be your house guest for the night.
Well, that's okay, but just remember, we'll be counting the towels when you leave.
Oh, I'm so relieved that you have towels. I hadn't realized that people from Possum Pocket had learned how to use them.
Well, heck, I was just kidding. Now, folks, the lady is correct. Kippers, show these women to their rooms. Now, we can't lock up the safe no more without the key, so, Pinkerton, you stay down here and make sure nobody comes near it.
We Pinkerton detectives value our client's property above our own life.
Well, just don't forget that. Now, come along, Purity. I'll just take this along for my nerves.
I'll be along presently. I just want a word with Hercules. Whoever boldly seized that kerchief from under our very noses means to use it again.
I was thinking just that, ma'am.
Since you are a Pinkerton and the closest thing on the island to a law officer, the killer must deal with you first. He or she undoubtedly will be paying you a visit any moment now.
I am prepared, madam. I have my firearm and my electric torch. I will wait here behind this chair and watch as the second greatest mystery story of the century unfolds.
Indeed. What's the first?
Here, will you read it?
Oh, dear. Well, I bid you good night.
Good night, ma'am.
In the drawing room. I read so much. I need it constantly.
Oh, you poor little thing. Oh, here, let me wipe your eyes. Oh. Who is it that is causing you such anxiety? Tell me, and I will deal harshly with the rogue.
Oh, it's Captain Cratchfield. We're to be married tomorrow, and I can't stand the sight of him.
But he is the client, and has my undying loyalty as a Pinkerton, and whose interests I am sworn to protect. It is my reluctant duty to speak up on his behalf. Oh, he's not so bad, ma'am. Well, after all, he made his fortune with a product that benefits both man and beast.
I know. That awful self-pulp with all K's.
He has devoted his life to curing crippled critters.
He ordered you to put a steel trap by the garbage can to catch little kitty cats.
Well, I couldn't find the trap.
He put it in that basket.
Well, I'm glad I couldn't find it. For I, too, am partial to cats. Why, nothing gives me more pleasure than petting a pussy.
You are so sensitive.
Don't touch. We Pinkertons are only allowed bodily contact when a crime is in progress.
Then I will steal your pencil.
Well, stop! In the name of the law!
You'll never take me alive.
Oh, purity!
Oh, Hercules.
Oh, I hear footsteps. It could be the strangler. Let us hide. Miss Marpole, what are you doing here? I could have shot you.
I was upstairs in my room, reading your manuscript, and my mind began to wander. I thought the Crimson Kerchief Strangler has been tampering with the lights. Has he also sabotaged the telephone?
As dead as can be. The strangler must have cut the wires.
Hark! Someone comes.
Trilby!
And Kippers and Robina. Oh, the two illicit lovebirds.
My word, our secret is out.
But how did you know we were lovers?
We were most discreet. The master never even suspected.
I have watched you two together. Oh, you scowled and avoided meeting eyes. The only couples who ignore each other so pointedly are clandestine lovers. Well, and married people with bad breath.
You are a remarkable detective. Well, it's true. We were carrying on behind Casper's back when I lived here as the third Mrs. Cratchfield.
When the master was snoring, Robina would sneak silently to my side.
He'd be waiting for me in the butler's pantry, clad in that suit of armor.
Brandishing my sword Excalibur. I was Sir Lancelot.
And I was Lady Guinevere.
We recreated Camelot while the sire slept.
It was my finest role. I wish we could have had an audience.
After the divorce, Kippers, why didn't you resign as butler and follow Robina?
Because the deceitful Mr. Cratchfield tricked me into surrendering my passport into his custody. Without it, I have no identity and would be immediately expelled from the colonies.
Oh, how very awkward.
Well, that's why we sneaked down here tonight, to look for Kipper's papers.
Well, and my crystal ball, without which my psychic abilities are severely impaired.
I see. Considering Mr. Cratchfield's propensity for hiding things in strange places, well, how do you expect to find the items?
With this divining rod.
Very interesting. I
passport?
Of course.
I hear footsteps. Everybody hide!
What y'all doing here?
We could ask you that same question. What were you searching for in that safe?
Some cash that Casper left behind, perhaps?
Chicken feed. I want something worth a lot more than that. The formula for Cratchfield's cure for crippled critters. It belongs to me. K is for Cratchfield. K is for cure. K is crippled critters. Use it for sure. Castle's white lightning. For friend or for foe. It's good for what ails ya. You reap what you sow. So swing it or rub it. We're standing in line at Castle's great mansion. The moonshine is fine. Yes, sirree, that formula belongs to me.
Oh, what are you talking about? Why, Mr. Cratchfield was the inventor.
Casper never invented nothing in his life. When I turned 12 and we got married, my pappy gave him the secret family recipe for Blue Ridge Lightning.
Blue Ridge Lightning?
Double barrel corn drippings, Frenchie. Yes, sir. Casper figured there'd be more moonshine customers in New York, well, than in Possum Pocket. So we moved north and fired up the still. Them weak-bellied Yankees couldn't handle Blue Ridge Lightning. So, Casper changed the name and started selling it as horse liniment. But it's still my pappy's recipe, and I want it back.
Why have you waited so long to claim it?
Well, I didn't really need it before. But now, I got me this wonderful feller.
Congratulations. Isn't it wonderful having someone so close?
Oh, heck, he ain't that close. He's only a third cousin. But what's worse is he's doing 5 years for moonshining. Well, when he gets out, I want him in a line of business that the revenuers can't get at him. Well, like the horse liniment business. So, stand one side, folks, while I get my pappy's recipe. Now, where Casper have hid it?
Well, maybe we can find it with this.
Oh, that won't be necessary. The document you seek has been destroyed.
What are you saying?
Mr. Cratchfield sought a more secure place for the recipe. He had it tattooed upon his person.
Oh, yeah? Whereabouts on his person?
Well, let's just say, if it were an egg, he would hatch it.
That no account varmint.
Howdy, folks. Y'all throwing a surprise party and I wasn't even invited.
How long you been snooping on us, Casper?
Long enough to learn everything that's been going on behind my back. Now, doesn't anyone here present wish old Casper a long and happy life?
Sticks and stones, Mr. Cratchfield. You have been the victim of words, not deeds.
Get behind somebody.
Mr. Cratchfield is dead.
Strangled with this crimson kerchief
break here, stretch your legs, and we'll be back and see if we can figure out who the strangler really is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are on the home stretch now. Not only will we find out who the strangler is. Did not I tell you that things often aren't what they appear to be? In any event, we'll find out who the real strangler is and who will stop him or her. Curtain up.
Are you sure he's dead and not just sleeping?
See if he's snoring.
Not a sound. And look at his upper lip. When Casper sleeps, he drools.
Not when I was married to him. I trained him not to.
He is quite dead, believe me.
I guess you're right. Now, poor Casper. He did have some good points. This is my last chance to get that recipe. I was wondering if I could see something. Do you suppose we could just slide down his britches?
They have a medical term for that, Drusilla.
We must leave Mr. Cratchfield exactly the way we found him for the police.
Yes, they may not show up for quite some time. Well, it's a good thing we covered him up so he doesn't get soiled.
The strangler! Gotta be the strangler! There's a big
Good evening, all. I am Inspector Heathcliff Creech from Interpol, here on special duty to apprehend the Crimson Kerchief Strangler.
How did you come across to the island?
I came here before the bridge went out, seeking to stop the Strangler before he strikes again.
I'm afraid you're too late, Inspector.
And who are you?
Oh, I am Hercules Handsome, Pinkerton Guard, in service of Casper Cratchfield, who now lies throttled and dead beneath that sheet.
So, the manhunt becomes a murder investigation, and my chance to make homicide history. Well, now, we're all alone on this island, so a person present must be the killer. Anybody like to confess
No.
and make it all a lot easier on us?
If I may say something, Inspector.
Identify yourself, madam.
Agatha Marple. You may know my work. I am the author of many highly popular mystery novels.
Never read them. All trash. And I'll thank you not to interfere. I know how you female mystery writers like to butt in and show up the police.
I wouldn't dream of it. But shouldn't you start your investigation by checking the body?
Don't tell me my job, woman. You, pull back that sheet. Dead as a doornail. No doubt about it.
Pardon me, Inspector, but perhaps I might be of some help. I have been consulted by the police on many baffling crime. I have the second sight, you know.
First, a Pinkerton. Then a mystery writer. And now, a medium. Oh, we should clear up this crime in no time at all. Forget it.
introduce yourself as incapable of murder.
Thank you, Inspector.
And so Lily White could never encircle a victim's throat.
What you say is true.
Eyes so blue could never look upon a person and plot his demise.
Have a care. You are stifling me.
Oh, innocence enfolds you like a cloak of purest white.
You, sir, must unfold yourself. My heart belongs to Hercules Handsome.
Curses! She resists my obvious charm. Therefore, I must resort to Plan B and eliminate the competition. Well, now, dear, I have some bad news for you. The Crimson Kerchief Strangler is none other than your picketed detective, Hercules Handsome.
That is just not true.
Oh, I have indisputable proof, which I shall quickly reveal. You may all come in now. I've summoned you all here because I'm about to expose the Crimson Kerchief Strangler. You, Pinkerton!
You talking to me?
Reach into your left trouser pocket and remove the contents.
A crimson kerchief. Oh, Hercules.
I don't know how this got there.
Quite easily, I planted it. A grisly trademark of the Strangler. Oh, when I first clapped my eyes on you, my sixth sense as a policeman told me that this person was indeed the perpetrator.
But that's not mine. I don't know what you think I was doing with it.
Preparing to throttle your next victim, I dare say. Hercules Handsome, I place you under arrest for the murder of Casper Cratchfield.
Excuse me, Inspector. Possession of a crimson kerchief doesn't single out Hercules as the strangler. Anyone could have one, even myself.
Oh, she's perfectly right. See, I have one too. Me too. It's the fashion this year. You can't arrest a fellow for carrying a red hanky.
Curses! This Marpole woman is toppling all my best laid plans.
There is a way to narrow the possibilities, Inspector. Does that kerchief have a faint odor of perfume?
It does not. Why do you ask?
Well, perfume would indicate a lady. That leaves the gentlemen as the sole suspects, including you, Inspector Creech.
Watch your tongue, woman! Watch your tongue.
Yes. Inspector, are you all right?
Yes. Yes. Oh, I've had some close calls in my long history as a policeman, but this was by far the worst. What have we here? I detect a trace of perfume.
And the first kerchief had none. Well, that must mean that they're two stranglers.
Or a man and a woman working together as a team. I had it. You used your kerchief on Cratchfield, and you gave yours to Kippers, then made his attempt on me.
Impossible! impossible. Our kippers, when provoked, might slay a Frenchman, but never an officer of the law. Not even an American, no matter how insufferable.
Save it for the jury. I place you and Rabina under arrest for suspicion of murdering Caspar Crutchfield.
Take me! She had nothing to do with it.
Oh, no. It was I alone. I killed Caspar Crutchfield.
Very touching. But you're still both under arrest.
Then lock us together in the butler's pantry.
For return to Camelot.
There is no need for locks and keys tonight. With the bridge washed out, like it or not, we are all prisoners on Tombstone Island. Is there a boat on the property, Butler?
There is a small rowing skiff in the boathouse. But it would be madness to launch it in these tremendous seas.
But I'll just go have a look. We wouldn't want anyone making it useful for a sudden departure, now would we? And you, Miss Marple, I charge you to make sure that this sweetmeat is secure at all times.
Excuse me, Inspector. The killer is still at large and may return to dispose of the corpus delicti that might incriminate him or her. I know that as a conscientious policeman, why, you wouldn't leave the late Caspar Crutchfield there on the floor unguarded.
Of course not. But I was about to tell the Pinkerton here to watch over the remains. And you keep that eye on that sweetmeat.
I will.
All right, everybody, to your rooms.
But if Hercules is to guard the remains, shouldn't he have his weapon back?
That would be rearming a murder suspect.
The strangler only kills with the crimson kerchief.
Drat! This is fast becoming a woman's world. I suppose you're right. Here you are, Pinkerton.
He doesn't care who the killer is. His only aim is to make an arrest.
Caspar lies beneath the sheet, unwept and unsung. If anything, we are more further away from the solution than before Inspector Creech took the case.
I'm not so sure of that. I need your help to expose, and more importantly, to apprehend the wiliest criminal of our time. A veritable magician of murder. The monster who can, undetected, kill in a crowded room. May I have a word with Hercules alone, Purity?
Certainly.
Tombstone Island tonight in that cockle shell. Where's that Pinkerton detective?
Oh, Hercules. He said he was going out for a glass of water. Well, he put on his oilskin skins and his gumboots and went out into the storm. He never returned.
So, he's on the run, eh? Well, that's proof enough for me. Hercules Handsome is the Crimson Kerchief Strangler.
I believe that you will say otherwise after I reveal some new facts.
How dare you doubt the word of Interpol's most written about homicide expert? But I'll give you a fair hearing just before I arrest you for interference in a police investigation. Aye, be so good as to assemble everyone here in the drawing room.
Come in, people.
I brought you all here together because this woman has the crack-brained idea that I have named the wrong suspect. Well, Miss Marple, let's get on with your latest mystery yarn.
Thank you, Inspector. Now, up until now, the murders I expose have been fictional characters. It's very difficult for me to point a finger at a real person. So instead of telling you who the culprit is, I will tell you who it is not. First, Drusilla is not. Because to keep the formula secret and to establish her fiancé in business, she needed Casper alive.
Thanks, Ms. Marple. Now that Casper's dead, his backside is in the public domain.
Enough! Let's hear about the butler.
Kippers was on the other side of the room before the murder, and then he was next to Robina when the lights came up. Obviously, these star-crossed lovers seized a moment in the dark, however brief. They are much too occupied with each other to have committed a murder.
Now give us proof they were together.
Where else would he have gotten these feathers? But from Robina's boa. And where else would Robina's glove have gotten this pomade? Except from the back of Kipper's head.
Get on with it.
Trilby is also innocent of murder. As a psychic, she knows that Casper in the spirit world would be much more trouble for her than Casper in the flesh.
You are so right, Miss Marple. I just dread the thought of Casper's spook getting fired up on his horse liniment and creeping into my boudoir.
And then there's Purity. She stands to benefit from Casper's demise as much as anyone else. But these dainty hands, they haven't the power to strangle as much as a newborn kitten.
I could never hurt little kitty cats.
Of course not, dear.
Well, you've been through the entire list, except for the prime suspect, Hercules Handsome.
Hercules is a mystery writer like myself. We murder only on paper, so we can live to kill again. That leaves only you, Inspector.
Oh, watch your tongue, woman. What? You forget. I almost fell victim to the strangler myself.
Yes, that was a very convincing performance. Except the kerchief around your neck was applied from the front. reached out and grasped your attacker.
Well, I guess the game is over. It has been fun. I enjoyed toying with all of you in the role of a police officer.
So, you are not Heathcliff Creech, the homicide inspector?
I am Heathcliff Creech, the Crimson Kerchief Strangler. Half a dozen more. Oh, too bad I can't use the kerchief. They're not as messy as the gun. But before I begin eliminating you all, one by one, I'm curious, Miss Marple. When did you first determine that I was indeed the Crimson Kerchief Strangler?
I suspected it when we first met, and you refused my help. Any true policeman would welcome the assistance of Agatha Marple.
Well thought out, madam. You have earned a kerchief treatment instead of the gun.
Hercules is a highly trained Pinkerton. Any moment he'll come dashing in to save us.
Oh, I wouldn't hold my breath. I took the liberty locking every door and window. To enter this fortress would require a case of dynamite.
Dynamite? Or Pinkerton what? Heathcliff Creech, you are under arrest for the murder of Casper Crutchfield.
Curses! I don't understand. What became of Crutchfield?
Crutchfield, we hid him where no one would think of looking. In the armor.
Poor Casper. Well, he would have wanted it that way. It was one of his hiding places. Oh, we found these items concealed in the helmet.
My passport!
Oh, my crystal ball!
No, you fools! No one outwits the Strangler! Now be so good as to put down those weapons.
You'll never get away with this, Creech.
Oh! Idle chatter, Pinkerton! I could terminate this trial with one jerk of my powerful hands. But before the bloodbath begins, I shall require some funds. Where did Catchfield stash his cash?
A Pinkerton never reveals the secrets of his clients.
Tell me, forbid dismiss. Goodbye.
Oh, what an agonizing decision. What to do?
One needs a mind like a steel trap.
Yes, I'm thinking.
One must snatch victory from the jaws of defeat.
That's easy for you to say.
Not as easy as catching a cat.
Oh, I get it! All right, you win. The money is in yonder basket.
Curses! I can't get free! Oh!
Heathcliff Creech, you are suitable period of mourning for Caspar? Will you marry me in a full dress, Pinkerton wedding ceremony?
Down the aisle under the cross revolver of an honor guard. Oh yes, Hercules. And we can build our own castle and live happily ever after.
Oh, yeah?